Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Thirsty Thursdays, Sense and Nonsense. And part of the nonsense today will be to see if I can make it through 40 minutes or so with this voice. Now, luckily, I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to be doing a lot of speaking for the masses, as it were. I will be doing the Danny Unleashed, sponsored by Easton Roofing on A10 on Friday. But we are headed on a great vacation. That'll be part of our topics today. We were so smart, we were so wicked smart that we didn't have any very many fact checks. So we're going to have some topics, some fun to talk about, some golf stories. We've got a great beer from Santa Fe Liquors. We've also got a crawler today and a new flavor from 23rd Street Brewery, which will be debuting second. So a wide variety today. We'd like to thank both Pat Allen as well as Matt Llewellyn. Of course, Matt at 23rd Street Brewery, 23rd and Castled in Lawrence, and of course Santa Fe Liquors at 75th in Santa Fe. And they are great sponsors and providers of the beers, usually Santa Fe Liquors for all of it, but today we'll split up the duties as well. And we hope that Joe's going to sound a lot better than me. He never sounds better than me, okay? but today he will sound better than me. But I don't really feel bad. I just sound bad. But I have a feeling I'm going to feel even better here pretty soon because we got some good beers, and we'll talk about that, and we'll find out what else coming up next. It's Thirsty Thursdays, Sense and Nonsense. When you hear this, I'll be in California, and Joe won't be nearby, but he is right now, so let's rock and roll on Thirsty Thursdays, Sense and Nonsense.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Did you experience hail damage last year and never got the work done? Most insurance companies only give you a year to get the roof fixed. And if you don't get it done, you could possibly not be compensated in full for the replacement of your roof. If you've been procrastinating getting that damaged roof taken care of, give us a call at 913-257-5426. And we'll send out an expert to help you through the process. We're never pushy, we're just here to help. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Vision's goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600-6300. If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business to Kansas City's #1 variety podcast, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you.
Danny, we are back with the smooth, silky sounds of my radio voice.
Yeah, if I was just a little bit better, I'd be Mr. Smooth Jazz Guy. But
hey, it's been like a month, buddy. We're back.
It's been a long time. I was asking you about the fact check, and you made a comment about the last broadcast, and it was at Arrived Outdoors, and I said, that was the last one? And we're like, yeah, just life happened. I think you felt bad one week. Wasn't that the first stumbling block? Yeah, you had no voice one week. That's what the first.
Is that what the first one was?
That's what the first one was, and then Then last week it was just life happened.
Yeah, it's all right. We've got them thirsty. We got the audience thirsty, waiting for us,
waiting with bated breath.
Speaking of thirsty,
oh yeah.
So this is a Drecker, brewing company. Birds Aren't Real. Do you understand that title, Danny?
I don't.
Really?
I have no. So it sounds like you do.
I do. So there's a guy. Man, it must have been, right around like 2018, I think. And I'll have to fact check the dates.
Well, there's one for next time.
That's right. But when all the conspiracy stuff started becoming so prominent in the media, he was trying to make a statement about that, and he came out with a conspiracy theory that birds aren't real. So that the government, the CIA, had killed all the birds, and all the birds are robot listening devices put out by the CIA. And he went on a tour across the country in this van that said birds aren't real, and had rallies, and people started to follow along.
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
were
I remember this now.
Buying into the conspiracy. He made 60 Minutes at one point. It turned out it was always just a performance piece or whatever, right?
Right.
But I think it's pretty neat that we've got a birds aren't real delicious double IPA.
Yes, let's give it another sip.
It's really good.
This is very good. Very smooth for a double.
What's the ABV on this bad boy?
I can't
Danny?
find it. See if you can do better than
Well,
me
it is
without
almost
spilling your beer.
It is almost a camo can here. So
It is. It's hard to see. But I looked at the places where there's the fluid ounces. I don't know. Usually that means it's not that strong if you can't find the ABV.
well,
but
it's a double, so
that
it's probably
seems
at least
odd. Yeah, maybe it's way more powerful than we even feel.
it's probably at least a 7 if it's a double.
Maybe we don't want to know. But if it's any more than 7, it's a miracle because it's very smooth and tasty. So
It is tasty, and I'm thirsty today, Danny.
Drecker Brewing Company. Well, as I mentioned, you got one fact.
Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do on this beer?
This beer? I think we've had better
We have.
recently, but not. This is solid. So I'll go 7 on the nose.
I was going to go like 7.2. Yeah, for sure. This is buyable.
Yes.
Right? I would buy it. I would walk past it to purchase a few other ones we've had
It's
at the same price point.
Right. It's a lovely can. This was courtesy of Santa Fe Liquors. Birds Aren't Real, double IPA. Green and sort of a forest with an angry sort of looking cartoonish bird.
And you can tell that it is a smaller brewery because it's the sticker on the outside of the
Right,
can. You know what
right.
I mean, it's not a printed can.
And Drecker is Drekker, and there's a angry-looking Viking fellow there
Yep, right
with
there
a
on the
beard.
label.
Right there on the label. And so there you go.
Well, you alluded to it, Danny. We have a big, long fact check today.
Okay.
This afternoon.
Let's check it.
Last time we had Pat from Santa Fe Liquor on the pod,
Right.
and he said that a giraffe's tongue is a foot long. How long do you think a giraffe's tongue is, Danny?
I'm going to say it's longer.
Okay. You'd be correct.
Okay.
You want to give me a guess here?
I'm going to say it's a lot longer. I'm going to say it's 2 feet long.
18 to 20 inches long. You're pretty close. A
I
little
was going to
over.
say 18 inches, but I decided to be bold
Bringing that bold giraffe tongue
for the
take.
sake of entertainment. Yeah. So,
And that's the end of our fact check.
well, there we go. So let's see if we can do some things that we might get a little more right. Now, I sit here and I look straight ahead, and there is no gas ball in sight.
Oh, the eye is better.
Well, the eye is better, and I was cleared to fly last week, but the ball is still there. If I look straight down, it's still there, but it's tiny. It's teeny tiny. So I'm cleared to fly, but I talked to the eye doctor today, and he said, if you look straight down, is the little ball in the middle? And I said, well, yes, it is. And he said, well, we're going to give you some special eye drops. So I have to take some eye drops when I get up, when I'm going to the airport,
Okay.
and just about when I get on the plane
Interesting.
to keep the pressure down or something.
Some sort of magic eye
but
drops.
Actually, about 10 to 20% of the time today, the little ball has gone away.
Oh.
But then I would blink and it came back.
So we're going to play some golf soon then.
I hit balls. Well, we're taping this on Tuesday because I am flying on Wednesday, and of course, this is Thirsty Thursdays. I don't know when you're listen to it, but anyway, I was. This happens a lot. This really does happen a lot. I talked about this on yesterday's podcast with my wife. I went out there and had little expectation of anything,
And you hit the ball great.
I hit an entire small bucket of balls, and I missed one shot. And I feel like that. So I'm going to go play golf with one time I'm going to play with one of Jane's cousins, and the other time I'm going to play with another of Jane's cousins. One of them's a pro.
You going to Pebble?
No, I'm going to Spyglass Hill.
Oh.
And I would choose Spyglass Hill.
Really?
I mean, they're in the same property. It's the same management. You know,
Oh, it is? Okay.
Spyglass is at Pebble Beach, but it used to be part of the rotation in the tournament they play there at Pebble Beach when it was a big pro-am. It's not really. They don't have the same structure anymore. It's a very famous golf course, and it's not quite as ocean scenic, but it's, by most people's account, considered a better golf course.
Okay.
And I even said, he was kind of sounding apologetic, the guy. He said,
Yeah.
well, we got a tee time at Spyglass, not Pebble. And I'm like, hey, I would choose Spyglass. So I'm going to play Spyglass, but at least I will have played. I'm playing another round with the other cousin first. And I'm sure we'll play on a fine golf course. I don't know what we're playing.
You taking your clubs?
I am not. Now, that is a little topic. Back in the day, I would never have gone on a trip without my golf clubs, even if I was going to play once.
Well, why aren't you taking your clubs then?
It's just, I'm not, first of all, I'm not good enough to go through the hassle
come on.
of, first of all, it would put us over the bag. I've ended up having to pay for the bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then second, lugging it around for 2 rounds of golf when we're going to be there 10 days. And I've done this, I made that decision a couple of, 5 years ago or something. I said, if I'm going to go, I'll just rent clubs, whatever. If I went on a golf trip,
yeah,
say I went on a golf trip and all we're going to do is play golf and we're going to play 4 or 5 rounds of golf, I would absolutely bring my own clubs. But I did have a thought that my putter, I measured my putter, okay? But you'll know that I can't brag because the putter's 32 inches long.
Okay. Your putter.
The putter.
Oh,
yes.
your putter. Got it.
The other one,
Sorry.
the other one is a hefty size, but takes less to be impressive. So I measured, and it's 32 inches long. Okay, and I'm thinking I've got the biggest piece of luggage, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, 32 ounces at least crossways, quarter to corner.
It's 3 feet.
It's gotta fit. Mm-hmm. No, this big. It's like the biggest. It is the biggest size of.
And it still won't fit?
No, it's not. So it's what I guess the point is even the biggest suitcase is surprisingly short because it's probably about 30 inches long.
Interesting.
So even corner to corner, I thought at least corner to corner. So
I got a big one over here. I'll maybe let you borrow. You might be able to fit your putter in.
Well, we can measure it. No, I'm serious. If it is bigger, I might borrow it.
You're not measuring my putter, Danny.
No, I'm measuring the bag. Measuring your bag, which will be less inches, no matter what, even if it's an impressive bag. We were watching. You did say in the text, bring the topics. We have. Speaking of this, my wife yesterday sent me an old Johnny Carson video.
Okay. And
Madeline Kahn was in it.
I don't know who that is.
Do you know Blazing Saddles?
I do.
She's Lily Von Shtupp. That's Madeline, the blonde lady.
Okay.
Who was, with Black Bart.
Yes,
yes. And she was a knockoff of Marlena Dietrich.
Okay.
See, there's a movie called, we've talked about this before. There's a movie called Destry Rides Again, which is a very good movie. And it was made in about 1940. And Jimmy Stewart is in it, and Marlena Dietrich is in it. And Jimmy Stewart plays a sheriff who doesn't use a gun. And he tames this town with
Has he got a whip or something? What's he doing here?
He just uses his wiles, basically.
He's
and he has
very clever.
A bunch of homespun sayings, and it's really a great movie, and it's funny. It's a comedy western.
Okay.
And so I had seen Destry Rides Again, a long time ago, and then I, hadn't seen it for a while, and I watched it, and of course I've seen Blazing Saddles 100 times, and then I watched Destry Rides Again for the first time in probably 25 years, maybe 15 years ago.
Are you saying Destiny Rides Again?
Destry. It's his name.
Okay.
Destry. So I'm watching the movie and I'm like, this is the template for Blazing Saddles.
We've talked about this before, yes.
Right. So anyway, so she basically plays Marlena Dietrich's, a send-up of Marlena Dietrich's character. So anyway, she's on with Johnny Carson, and he's asking her if she has. He says, "Do you have any